Okay, so here we go with the finished work. We've got, the name is called Admit to Movie Marathon, and it stars a movie mashup of all the popular movies around past and present. So let's have a start. We've got the Batman and the Joker from The Dark Knight, and then we get into the Prestige. Here is the Magician. And there's the tank where it was filled with water. It's now got Deadpool in it, saying suck it because he's the star attraction. We've got the Watchman and girl coming in to drown him in the tank and get rid of him off stage because they want centre stage. The Darth Vader and the Stormtroopers are trying to push the tank over, as is Superman, because they also want centre stage. And Spider-Man is waiting in the wings when they all come off the stage to take his centre stage. The Oompa Loompas from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory are the audience. And then we veer across to the side. We've got Pirates of the Caribbean and the Kraken coming in. We've got School of Rock and his guitar hanging out in the ship, with Iron Man looking over. Santa Claus is waiting in the wings, as is Jaws, to take out the chick from Guardians of the Galaxy. We then move up into Gandalf from Thor, and also the other characters from Guardians in the Galaxy watching over. We go a bit more into Thor and his brother and the two worlds, and the character from one of the movies. I'm not sure what her name is, so I can't tell you, but that is the whole scene out of the Thor movie. At the top here we've got Star Wars, we've got Bugs Bunny hanging out on one of the planets, and we've got Yosemite Sam hiding out in the corner. Batman is checking out Wonder Woman on top of the spaceship, and then that big thing creature, I think it's, I can't even remember his name, Jabba the Hutt. And then we've got the bloke from The Martian and his potatoes, where he grows the potatoes and lives for a while and survives on potatoes. We've got Apollo 13 going up. This is the atmosphere coming around here. And then up in the sky from one of the building tops is shining Batman's sign from the Dark Knight. But instead of Batman, Robin has got jealous and he's taken a can of spray paints up. And of course he has now changed it to Robin because he's a very jealous boy. Alright, this is back down to the bottom. Let's go. Above the Prestige comes Gladiator and the Gladiator Pit. The gladiators are fighting Wreck-It Ralph, the wizard from Lord of the Rings, the little character from Lord of the Rings. I can't remember what his name is. And the Hulk is fighting, and so is Captain America. And they're all fighting the gladiators. Watching on in the audience are the Hobbits, the Orcs, and Dragon Ball Z, and the Elves. So that's in the Gladiator Pit. Above that we've got a tree, and wrapped around the tree is the Yellow Brick Road from Dorothy and the Land of Oz. So Dorothy, the Scarecrow, Dorothy and the Tin Man are climbing up the tree, but at the top of the tree sits Hannibal Lecter, and he's waiting out to have lunch. So across from there we've got our building scene from The Dark Knight, where we get into the city and The Departed. And from here we go into Inside Man, where there's a bank robbery going on. We get to the middle building, which is from Django, and from my memory of Django, it was all blood and guts. So there's a bit of pomp and ceremony going on in there in terms of death and destruction. Spider-Man is climbing up and having a little look-see, and King Kong is hanging out on top of the building. At the top here, Roadrunner has taken off with a bag full of money from the bank. And on top of the building is Batman's motorbike. He's zooming along. And on the top of the buildings and falling down are the zombies from Zombieland. We've got the Simpsons hanging out with a bag of popcorn. And we've got the movie ticket to admit to movie marathon, which is the name of the work. We've also got E.T. riding across the horizon. In the corner here, we've got Batman. We've got Deadpool doing his little love heart symbol, and behind him is Spider-Man saying, "What a loser." We've got the characters here, and I'm going to forget the movie name. I really can't remember the movie name from that one. Oh, no, that won't come to me later. Wizard of Oz, the rest of the Yellow Brick Road is coming out on the side there, and Dorothy is hanging out with Big Bird. Here's the little machine from Star Wars, and Princess Leia is doing acrobatics on there. It's the Stormtroopers, and Darth Vader, I should say, is hanging on for grim life. In the center here is Fight Club. And instead of the people, the Oompa Loompas, again, are the Watchers, because they're very excitable little creatures and they're very adventurous. So they like to hang out throughout the work and are the Watchers of the audience. Our fighters are in the middle. And in the base comes Jumanji, where he falls through the floor, where he gets pricked by the end of a rhino. And of course, the four are playing the game in the middle. That's from Jumanji. We cross over into Sesame Street, where Cookie Monster and Oscar the Grouch are hanging out. We've got the dude from, oh no, I'm going to forget the name of that movie too. It's raining here, so it's getting a bit dark and loud and thunderous. If you can hear the thunder. Anyway, that's Captain Jack Sparrow. The Oompa Loompas have become bank robbers, and they're sort of hanging out in another building. Superman is taking off with one of the girls from Sin City. This, of course, is the Sin City building, and the girls dancing. Things are getting a little bit chaotic with people being pushed out of windows. Rightio, let's go down the bottom. So the Oompa Loompas are climbing up the ladder to the tree from Big Fish. The Toy Story characters are hanging out in the field. They're the boots from the Big Fish. Behind here is Violet Beauregard getting rolled through the chocolate factory, because the Big Fish tree has turned and sprouted candy. So it's kind of turned into the chocolate factory, where the Oompa Loompas are up here hanging out, as is V for Vendetta. Those two characters there, with the symbol there. You've got the licorice all sorts, and you've got more of this candy coming up through the centre here. At the bottom, you've got the zombies from Zombieland, and they're moving across into the Mad Max field. So the cars are kind of getting swept up in a sandstorm at the bottom and kind of disappearing off into the sand, and all the little zombies are jumping through and wreaking havoc from Zombieland. And I think that is roughly about the work explained. I don't think I've forgotten anything. No, that'll be about it. So yes, movie mashup. All different movies. I wish my camera was a little larger to capture it all in one shot, but it's not. So feel free to go to elzingacollective.com.au and check out this work more in full. The work is a distressed work, and it's to emulate the sound, the look of a film projection, an old film projection reel. And I'll show you a little bit up close. So it's kind of got a scratched, etched finish to it. Which I think looks really cool and really suits the work. Well, I hope you can hear me over the sound of thunderous rain and lightning and all sorts. So this one's called Admit 2 Movie Marathon.